scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There was an error and 2 runners left on base. After 1 complete, it's Wahoo 2, Tekamah-Herman nothing.
Okay, I'll let you update that.
Okay.
Well, let me see it one more.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Just keep flipping back and forth. Okay. We're just gonna do. Okay. And now we're going to do this. All right, it's all yours.
Okay. This is the top of the second, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sam Crawford Field in downtown Wahoo, Nebraska. Austin McNorton and Lauren Hollowell here with you. So sorry for all the technical difficulties we had. Our computer just, absolutely froze on us there. So we are back here in the top of the second inning now, and should be good to go now as your Wahoo Warriors lead 2-0 over the Tigers of Tekamah-Herman after Isaiah Nagel had a double to lead things off for Wahoo. I just don't even remember. I thought I was trying to keep track of what was going on while I was trying to fix it, but I couldn't. Wahoo had 2 hits in that bottom of the first inning. Some errors, some runs, and now lead it 2-0. As we head to do the top of the second, Tekamah-Herman up. It is their 6, 7, 8 hitters due up. Again, so sorry, everybody. For that's actually never happened, believe it or not. So everyone keep your fingers crossed that it doesn't happen again. It is Landon Miller standing in for the Tigers. He's over at third today defensively for Tekamah-Herman. Against Cody Hesser, who had 3 strikeouts in the top of the first. So hopefully everything is good here now. The sun is shining. We couldn't ask for a better day weather-wise here in Wahoo, truly. It's been pretty great. And that is back into the parking lot and went off of the Elite Exteriors van behind us. Thanks for all the comments and everyone in the live chats of our YouTube video. That helps us a lot, too, of seeing what's going on and what you're hearing and seeing. And there's a walk, and it's a leadoff base runner for the Tigers as Landon Miller is on. It's the first walk of the day for Tekamah-Herman as Caden Booth reached on an error back in the first, and then Cale Belfrage was hit by a pitch. So here is the first baseman, Grady Belfrage. So he looks at a first pitch called strike. Austin McNorton, Lauren Hollowell here with you. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Sam Crawford Field. Sun shining, clouds coming in and out. The wind kind of gusty at times, right to left. The outfielder's playing it pretty straight up as this is off the end of the bat and will go foul. Down the first base side, Eli Johnston picked it up pretty immediately. As Miller over there at first hasn't gotten much of a lead over there at the plate. You can kind of hear that wind a little bit now. A great crowd here as well. Maybe the best crowd we've seen this season, as this one is skied on the infield. Back to first. That's a double play. Great play made by Alex Berry and Eli Johnston. As Alex caught it on the infield, threw it back to first, and just like that, there's 2 gone and nobody on. A 4-3 double play, and that brings up the 8-hole hitter for the Tigers, Dylan Peterson, who's out in right field today for Tekamah-Herman, who trailed this one 2-0. Cody Hesser gets the job done with the strikeout. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. We'll take a break and get you set for the bottom of the second. Austin McNorton and Lauren Hollowell back here with you on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube, and it's a leadoff base hit for the Warriors here in the bottom of the second, as Alex Berry is on as a leadoff base runner for Wahoo, and that'll bring up Caden Christen, who's over at third today defensively for the Warriors. And I wanted to kind of recap how that bottom of the first went, thanks to a lot of help from the Warriors spectators. And I mean a lot of help, as I kind of missed that entire bottom of the first inning dealing with the technology. So this is kind of how it all got broken down. Isaiah Nagel had a leadoff double that hit off the bottom of the wall out in left field. I did see that. Carson Sabatka reached on an error from second base, which brought Isaiah all the way to third. Connor Booth had a single out into right field, which brought in Nagel from third. Sabatka went to third, and then Nolan Van Slyke struck out. Eli Johnson was hit by a pitch. Jace Kaminsky walked, and then Cody Hesser grounded out into a one, because the bases were loaded, grounded out into a 1-2-3 double play is how the inning ended. So Wahoo had 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 runs, and 2 left on base in that bottom of the first. So Alex Berry, to go here in the bottom of the second, had a leadoff single. He now stands at second after Caden Christen just grounded out to the pitcher, Park Loftus. And that brings back up the leadoff hitter for Wahoo, Isaiah Nagel, who's 1 for 1 today with a double and a run scored. There, we're all caught up, Lauren. I can't believe it. Amazing. Wind howling, sun shining here. Beautiful Sam Crawford Field in downtown Wahoo, Nebraska. Great crowd on hand today. First pitch swinging, popped up into straightaway right. Peterson is there to make the catch on the run. Tagging from second and going into third standing is Alex Berry. So 2 are away with a runner at third now for Wahoo. And here's Carson Sabatka. He's 0 for 1 as he reached on an error in that first inning from the second baseman Tobin and was brought in to score on Connor Booth's RBI single. First pitch swinging again, smoked out into straightaway left, and it is caught on the run. So some unlucky hitting there for Carson Sabatka and Isaiah Nagel as they hit it right at 2 Tigers for the final 2 outs. So 1 hit, no walks, no runs, and 1 left on as we head to the top of the third. Wahoo still leads 2-0. You're tuned into Warrior Baseball on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Wahoo Public YouTube, Saunders County Online. Austin McNorton here with you, sitting alongside Lauren Hollowell. As here we go, top of the third inning, Wahoo leads 2-0 against the Tigers of Tekamah-Herman. It is the 9-1-2 hitters due up. And a quick ground out to third off a good throw from Caden Christen. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch. So we go to the top of the order now for Tekamah-Herman, and that brings up Park Loftus. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout back in that top of the first inning. And it was a dropped third strike that he came in. And a shout out to Lindsay Ricks, who's on our stream today. She's been helping us out with a lot of comments. We appreciate all those comments, kind of letting us know what's going on in terms of our technology out here in the elements. So we appreciate all of you for tuning in. We appreciate all of our sponsors who are the ones who make it happen. Park Loftus, he did take the count. He was down quickly 0-2. He fouled off a couple of pitches. He was able to work the count back even before the strikeout that had to go down to first. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away, nobody on. And now the count goes 3-1 after a good pitch outside, not chased. The 3-1 from Cody. Right down the center, strike 2. Wahoo will be back here at Sam Crawford tomorrow. And there's a strikeout again on Park Loftus. So the pitcher for the Tigers is having a tough time at the plate against Cody Hesser. He's 0 for 2 with two Ks. And that'll bring up Caden Booth. He's 0 for 1 today as he reached on an error and got all the way to second and was left stranded there back in that top of the first inning. Pitch high. So Wahoo, like I said, they'll be back here tomorrow against Nebraska City. Exact same colors, right? Aren't they? Yeah. The Pioneers also purple and gold. They'll be here tomorrow at Sam Crawford, and that'll be their first. This one's popped up in the air behind home plate, and we'll go into the parking lot. But this will be the first game of the Trailblazer Conference Baseball Tournament tomorrow, and then the rest of the the rest of the week are kind of up in the air based on how that one goes. Grounded foul down the third base line. Moose stays alive. Credit so far to the Tiger bats. They've been fouling away quite a few pitches today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wahoo leading 2-0. How about that? In the top of the third, this pitch low, skips in on Kaminsky, and the count's full. And that can be frustrating as a starting pitcher when you're hitting your spots and they're just able to barely make contact. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Cody's been great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for Cody Hesser as he's through 3 innings. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball in Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. We'll be right back. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball in Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. Austin McNorton sitting alongside Lauren Holloway here on this Monday afternoon. Here we go. Bottom of the third. Wahoo leads it 2-0 over the Tigers of Tekamah-Herman in this varsity action. Here we go. Bottom of the third for Wahoo. It's their 3-4-5 hitters, and first pitch popped up on the infield, and Connor Booth is down as he popped it up right to Belfridge at first. So 1 up, 1 down for the Warriors on 1 pitch, and that'll bring up Nolan Van Slyke. Nolan is out in left field today for Wahoo. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in that first inning. As the train goes across the outfield here at Sam Crawford Field. Pitch goes just over the top of Nolan's head. For Wahoo's been swinging a lot of first pitches. That was 3 first pitch outs in a row for the Warriors off of Isaiah Nagel, Carson Sabatka, and Connor Booth. So there's 2 straight takes, and Nolan Van Slyke's ahead 2-0. So a little bit more patient this time at the plate for the Warriors. Eli Johnson stands up next. He was hit by a pitch his first time. Van Slyke bloops one to straightaway center, down in front of Booth out there in center field. And it's a 1-out base hit for Nolan Van Slyke, and the 4th hit of the day for Wahoo. Eli Johnson, he's over at first today, stands in the lefty box. He's looking for his first official at-bat in the scorebook as he was hit by a pitch his first time and was left stranded at second on the Cody Hesser double play to end that bottom of the first inning. He looks at a first pitch strike right there on the inside part of the plate. 1 on, 1 out, 1 strike against Johnston. We'll pull up Eli's numbers this season for the Warriors. So he pops one up in foul territory, down the third base side, and back to the concession stand, and out of play. It was a good run on over there by Miller for the Tigers. Eli Johnson at the plate this season for Wahoo. A .389 average on 18 at-bats. He has 7 hits, 8 runs, 2 RBIs. All of those being singles, no extra base hits. But this one is smoked to straightaway left and caught out there by Ricks. That's the second time a hard hit ball has been hit right at Ricks. And that's out number 2, and Van Slyke doesn't go anywhere. So that's just unlucky hitting there for the Warriors. You get great contact on it, deep, but you just unfortunately hit it right at a Tiger. Ricks gets out number 2, and here's Jace Kaminsky. He walked his first time up and was left stranded at first. First pitch, swung on and missed. Sun now shining here over Sam Crawford. Wind continuing to blow. The 0-1, grounded foul down the first base side. So Jace, he walked his first time up, and it wasn't on a lot of pitches, but now he's behind in the count 0-2. So the general consensus now is you really have to fight anything off that's even close. Inside, and that's down the third base side in the grass. Haven't seen Van Slyke be super aggressive over there on the first, over there at first in terms of stealing or not. Pitch inside, good take from Kaminsky. One and a strike 3 called on Jace Kaminsky, and the Warriors once again have a base hit but do nothing with it. So 1 hit, no walks, no runs, and 1 left on. We head to the top of the 4th in this game that's moving quickly. Wahoo leads 2-0, and we'll be right back after this.
The Tigers' 4th catcher, Spencer Pagels.
Top of the 4th, here we go in Wahoo, Nebraska on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. Thank you for tuning in on this Monday afternoon. I hope you got a chance to enjoy that solar eclipse, get a good look at it, and now you enjoying some good varsity baseball. Top of the 4th, it's the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up here for the Tigers. And that brings up Spencer Pagels. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout back in the top of the first. Cody Hesser has been great at striking out Tiger batters. This one's popped up in foul territory right at first, though, and Johnson got a great look at it, stayed with it for out number 1. In this wind and in this sun, Eli made that look a lot easier than it actually was. So a good out and a 1 up, 1 down to bring up Cale Belfrage. He was hit by a pitch his first time. And first pitch swinging inside for a strike. He's over at short today defensively for the Tigers. So here's the 0-1 with nobody on. And Wahoo still leading 2-0. Cody Hesser still out on the mound for Wahoo. He's now doubled his innings here today that he came into today all game. And now he's behind in the count after a couple good takes from Cale at the plate in the right-hand box. I love the color scheme of this squad, the purple and gold. Cale rocking the yellow sleeve. This one's grounded to third. Kristen got a good read on it. Long throw. It's low. Dug and caught. What an incredible play by Eli Johnson over there at first. That throw was really low, and Eli scooped it up out of the dirt for out number 2. Two up, 2 down. The Warriors mowing through the order. That's now 5 sat down in, that's actually, that is 8 sat down in a row now for the Warriors. As Tristan Tobin stands in, he struck out looking his first time up, and that ended the first inning for the Tigers after leaving 2 on stranded. Heck of a play by the Warrior defense so far in this top of the 4th inning. And each of the Tigers have gotten ahead in the count as it's 3-0 and now 3-1. And there's a walk. The second walk of the day for the Tigers as Landon Miller, who steps up. He was the last guy to walk, and that was back in the 2nd inning. It led off the 2nd inning, and then he got out in a double play off of a line out from Grady Belfrage. First pitch strike. Cody needed that one as he starts ahead in the count now after being behind the last one 3-0. Now this one was a really high pitch off the bottom of the bat, behind the home plate and into the grass. After starting out the last batter 3-0, next batter in Landon Miller is behind 0-2. With 1 on and 2 away. Just missed low and outside. And their state champion and head coach Kevin Sheaf is in attendance today. Watching Cody on the mound get another strikeout. Cody Hesser, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts today for Hesser. As the Warriors give up 1 walk, no runs, and 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Wahoo leading it 2-0. You're tuned into Warrior Baseball, and we'll be right back. Warrior Baseball right here on Wahoo Public YouTube and Saunders County Online. Austin McNorton and Lauren Hollowell here with you as we head to the bottom of the fourth, and Wahoo leading it. Wahoo Newman leading Tekamah-Herman 2-0. Due up for the Warriors are their 7, 8, 9 hitters, and that'll bring up a pitcher today, Cody Hesser. He's 0 for 1 as he grounded into that 1-2-3 double play. There's something you don't say too often in the game, but a fun one to write down in the scorebook. 1-2-3 double play that ended the first inning. And he swung himself out of his shoes on that pitch inside. He somehow did make contact with it, and now he'll kind of walk a little gingerly back over to the grass and kind of get the dirt off of his cleats and reset and redo everything. A hard swing on a pitch way inside on the plate, and the home plate umpire is going to give him some time too. He cleans off home plate and all that kind of ritual type stuff you see. The 1-1 now. Pitcher on pitcher here. Inside, 2-1. Wahoo with 4 hits today, a walk, 2 runs. However, 4 batters have been left on base. And most of that came in that bottom of the first inning where Wahoo sent 7 guys to the plate. Low and outside, and Cody's on with a walk. So another leadoff base runner here for Wahoo, their second walk of the day. And you wonder if Wahoo will have a courtesy runner, and they will. As Alex Berry steps up, and who will go out and run for Wahoo? We'll see what Michael Klein has to say about who that is. Oh, you know who it is, Lauren?
No.
Okay. I thought you might.
No.
Didn't know if you had an idea. Barry stands in the right-hand box. He's 1 for 1 today with a leadoff single back in the second, but he was left stranded at third. He shows bunt, pulls it back, ball 1. So the infield, at least third base, Miller over there for Tekamah-Herman is in, kind of on the lip of the grass. And Belfrage over there at first is trying to hold him. Good bunt right back up the middle. Loftus gloves it and flips it over to first in time for out number 1. It's really a nice bunt laid down, but Loftus is really quick and athletic off the mound as he gets the first out, throwing it over to Belfrage at first. But Alex does his job as you now have a runner in scoring position for Caden Kristen. He's 0 for 1 today with a ground out back up the middle to Park Loftus. His first pitch is low. Caden stands in the lefty box. Decent lead over there at second. The pitch off the end of the bat. Loftus got a glove on it again over to first. Wow. Park Loftus has been the demise of Caden Kristen today. He is so athletic off the mound, and a runner at third here for Isaiah Nagel. He's 1 for 2 today with a fly out to right and a double in which he came in to score on in the bottom of the first. An opportunity here with a runner in scoring position for Wahoo to try to add on to their close lead here in the bottom of the fourth in a game that's kind of flown by. Pitch goes high. Well, you can smell that immediately. This kid got a big pickle right here in front of us. And I was like, where? You knew exactly what it was. That's awesome. This one is grounded to third. Tough play. Long throw for Miller. Scooped up. Safe. It skips by the first baseman in Belfrage. Rounding second and going all the way to third is Isaiah Nagel on the error. And Wahoo adds on to their lead. It was a tough play for Miller, so maybe they might grant him a hit. We'll see. We'll see how it's officially scored. As Carson Sabatka steps up, and they do give it an error. So standing at third is Nagel now for Carson Sabatka. The last time he was up, he also had a runner at third. And first pitch smoked a ball out to straightaway left, but Ricks made a good play out in the outfield for the final out of the second inning. Pitch in there for a strike. Sabatka is 0 for 2 today as he reached on an error back in the first inning and came in to score. And then that line out in the second. Carson's been pretty great at the plate this season for Wahoo. A .293 average in 41 at-bats. He has 12 hits, 6 runs, 6 RBIs, and 3 doubles. Big spot for him here. As he stands in the lefty box and looks at a pitch, catch the bottom right corner for a strike 2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, 1 on. Up the middle, and Loftus got a glove on it again. Park Loftus got all 3 outs grounded back to him. However, he does give up a run as the leadoff walk came back to bite him after the error. So it's 1 walk, 1 run, and 1 left on for Wahoo. They're in that bottom of the 4th. To the top of the 5th we go. You're tuned into Warrior Baseball as Wahoo Bishop Neumann leads Tekamah-Herman 3-0. We'll be right back after this. Sam Crawford Field is our site for varsity baseball on this Monday afternoon. Wind blowing right to left, sun shining here in downtown Wahoo, Nebraska, as Wahoo Bishop Neumann leads the Tigers of Tekamah-Herman here in the top of the 5th, 3-0. Tigers 2 up. It is their 7, 8, 9 hitters. As Grady Belfridge, he roped into a double play his first time up, and he's behind with 2 strikes. As he hit it right at Alex Berry for an out, and then Alex flipped it back to Eli Johnston to get Landon Miller, who had too much of a lead off of first. So he's 0 for 1. And watches a pitch just miss the outside part of the zone. Cody was looking for strikeout number 8 and back-to-back strikeouts today. And there is something happening for Wahoo. And there's a strikeout. It gets away from Kaminsky. Jace throws it to first, and another good catch made by Eli Johnson. Well, I'll tell you what, Eli has been spectacular over at first today. Made a tough catch in the outfield. He's scooped up several plays and balls that have been thrown his way. That's a tough catch as he had to come on the inside, like kind of in foul territory to make the catch. Got his foot down on the bag for a strike off the throw from Kaminsky. And that is strikeout number 8, I think, for 8. Yes, for Cody Hesser. And Dylan Peterson, one of those 8 strikeouts, was back in the second inning. He stands in now. He's out in right field today defensively for the Tigers as well. But like I was saying, something is happening. If you look at the little score bug there in the bottom left corner of your screen, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, that Cody Hesser is on pace for. He's given up 2 walks today. He has hit a batter. A batter reached on an error. outside, and that's ball 4 and a walk for Peterson. So not a perfect game, but something else. So I'm not going to say. That's what they always, they always say it. Whenever you put it out into the universe, it immediately happens. Whenever you say the word, it immediately happens. It's kind of like I always do this now. So back when I was broadcasting college basketball in Kansas before coming up here, I would always say, when there's a shooter at the free throw line, you look at their percentages and how good of a free throw shooter they are and some of those kind of things. And this one goes right back over our head. Would you have been able to, were you ready to catch that?
Yep.
Absolutely. She was locked in, saw it the whole way. It's an 0-2 count on Rylan Ricks. He's out in left field today for the Tigers with a runner on and 1 out. He grounded out to third his first time up. Back to first and sliding in safely is Peterson. But like I was saying, so anytime there was a shooter at the free throw line, I would typically say their free throw number is like, how good have they been this season from the line in situations, all those things. And it seemed like even if it was a tremendous free throw shooter, I think there was a guy on our team once who was shooting 88% from the free throw line, and I said that, and he missed. And so I said, I'm not doing it anymore. It's very similar to that. It's a 1-2 count, and back off the fence, and staying alive is Rylan Ricks. Is our camera frozen? I don't think so. It's hard to tell from what we're looking at, but everyone just keep your fingers crossed. And thanks to all the comments, and thanks to everyone for tuning in and dealing with our technical difficulties. We haven't had them this season, but it's bound to happen sometime. 1-2 again, right down the center, strike 3 looking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Mr. Hesser out on the mound. Boy, he's been good today. And there's 2 away with 1 on for the top of the order, Park Loftus, who he is 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. So trying to break that cycle, if possible here. First pitch low. Kaminsky will throw down to second. Good throw. Ooh! Just missed it. Dylan Peterson steals second. But boy, a tremendous throw from Jace Kaminsky. It was right on the money. Sabatka was there, but Dylan Peterson beat the tag. Barely with the dirt flying. A 1-0 count with a runner at second. This one's popped up over to third and out of play. Boy, based on what the crowd was just saying there, that I guess didn't sound good. I don't know. Here's the 1-1 with a runner at second. Park trying to get his team back into it, trailing 3-0. The Warrior crowd kind of wondering where that one was at. It just missed a little bit high, I guess. So we're ready to go again. It's smoked to straightaway center. It'll go all the way to the fence, cut off by Booth, but it's an RBI base hit for Park Loftus, so that's the way to break the strikeout streak for Mr. Loftus. It's an RBI single. And just like that, the Tigers are on the board here in the top of the 5th inning. Their first hit of the day, too. How about that? Even mentioning it. I didn't even say no hitter, even mentioning it. It happens. It's a base hit, their first of the day, their first run of the day. Going back to first and sliding in safely is Loftus. So their first hit comes with 4 2/3 in the game. And going to second, Kaminsky throws it down. It's a high bouncing ball off the grass and another stolen base for the Tigers. Loftus is in scoring position now for Caden Booth, who's 0 for 2 today. He reached on an error in the first inning and then struck out back in the third inning. It's a 3-1 ball game here in the top of the 5th. Warriors holding on to that lead. Cody trying to focus at the plate now. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away, and a runner at second. Pitch outside. Can start to see now, as this is that third time through the order. That's always kind of typical at all levels of this great game. The third time through the order is where the batter typically has the advantage, and that one was off the end of the bat and right off of Jace Kaminsky, who seems all right. But that's typically where you see the batter start to have the advantage. They've kind of seen the tendencies of the starting pitcher, and so 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second, top of the 5th. Wahoo leads it 3-1. Booth at the plate, trying to keep the 2-out rally alive. Outside, just missed. Booth didn't chase it. That's where Cody wanted it. Caden just didn't go after it. The count goes full now, and for Cody, don't want to have another base runner on if you can avoid it. Right down the center, strike 3 called. Kaminsky doesn't hold on, throws it down to first for out number 3. Cody Hesser gets the double digits on the strikeouts, but he does give up a hit and a run. So it's 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 run, and 1 left on. How about that? We go to the bottom of the 5th. Wahoo leads it 3-1. You're tuned into Warrior Baseball. We'll be right back.
We got the Warriors fifth center fielder, Connor Booth.
You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks to all of our sponsors for making it happen. Austin McNorton, Lauren Hollowell here with you on this sunny, windy, sometimes cloudy Monday afternoon. Here we go, bottom of the 5th inning. Wahoo leads it 3-1 after giving up a run there in the top half. It's the 3-4-5 hitters, the heart of the order, they say. And Connor Booth sends one to center field, and it drops right in front of Caden Booth. So Connor Booth, the center fielder for Wahoo, bloops one in front of Caden Booth, the center fielder for Tekamah-Herman. And Connor has his second hit of the day and a leadoff base hit for Wahoo. Here's Nolan Van Slank. He's 1 for 2 today, as he struck out in the first inning and then had a single in the third inning and left stranded at first after the end of that third. So leadoff base runner, as Wahoo has hit number 5 for them today. They've just unfortunately left 5 batters on base today as well. Sliding back in safely is Connor. He didn't have much of a lead, but slid back in there anyway. And now he'll go. Throw down to second. It's a good throw, but just to the left of where it needed to be. And so Connor Booth is into scoring position with nobody out on the stolen base.
There he is. Come on, 5.
So runner in scoring position now here for Nolan Van Slyke. Booth has a pretty decent lead over there at second as well. Pitch low. Good catch by Pagels behind the plate to keep it in front of him. Not getting to the backstop and not allowing Connor to go to third, which he easily would have. And a runner will go to third. Good throw, but sliding. Oh, no way! Boy, that's a really tough call against the Warriors as Connor Booth slides in safely to third. Boy, that is tough. And there's one away now for Wahoo. Gosh darn. Connor Booth just stole third successfully. Gets called out. And there's one out and nobody on now for Nolan Van Slyke. Man. It was a good throw from Pagels behind the plate, but the throw was a little bit high. And, I mean, truly, I don't know how there's any way that Miller over there at third could have physically and possibly gotten his glove down in time on the sliding legs of Connor Booth. Full count, low, and it's a walk. So another base runner here for the Warriors. With one out now. It's Wahoo's third walk today against Loftus. And standing in the lefty box is Eli Johnston. With a runner at first and one out. Eli is 0 for 1 today as he lined one out to left field. And he was hit by a pitch back in the first inning and left stranded at second. Just off the end of the bat and foul on that pitch from Johnston. It's been a well-pitched ball game by both teams, I will say. Johnston skies one to straightaway right. Peterson makes a run on it, and it's caught. Frozen again? I don't know. No, we're good? Okay, cool. Here's Jace Kaminsky standing in now. He is 0 for 1 today with a looking strikeout back in the third inning, and then he walked in the first inning. 2 away with a runner at first for Kaminsky. The Warriors leading 3-1. And Kaminsky, first pitch, sends it to second, gets under the glove of Tobin, and that will be an error that Kaminsky reaches on, which I believe is the third error today. Is that correct? I think so. Van Slyke goes up to second. Kaminsky's on. And Cody Hesser can help himself out now at the plate with 2 on and 2 outs. Oh, did they say that was a hit? I think they said that was a hit. And there's a hit. Straightaway center. Rounding third, coming home is Van Slyke. And it's an RBI for Cody Hesser, who helps himself out. He got that run back that he gave up in the top half. And Wahoo once again leads by 3. Kaminsky goes up to second. And Alex Berry steps up. He's 1 for 2 today with a single back in the second and a ground out to the pitcher Loftus back in the fourth. Decent lead over there for Kaminsky at second. First pitch, grounded up the middle. The shortstop Belfridge throws it over to first, high. It'll be another error on Tekamah-Herman, and going all the way to second, and another run scored for Wahoo. Kaminsky scores from second, and going all the way to third is the courtesy runner for Cody Hesser. And Caden Christen steps up now. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts back to Park Loftus on the mound.
That's all right. They're probably down. We haven't heard of I do like
Caden stands in the lefty box. It's been a really well-attended game today as well. People out enjoying this weather. It's a 3-0 count on Caden, and he'd love to have the bases loaded going back to the top of the order here. Pitch right down the center, 3-1. He had red light all the way there. For Wahoo, the courtesy runner, I believe, for Wahoo is Bo Osmera. Yes, it is. And Caden is on with a walk, and the bases are loaded now for the Warriors. Barry goes up to second. Kristen stands on, his first time being on base today. Bases are loaded, and Tekamah-Herman will have a meeting on the mound as the top of the order comes up for a Wahoo with them loaded and 2 outs. And we'll see if the day is done for Park Loftus or not. Really, he's pitched pretty good. He just had some tough defensive plays behind him, which in this wind, no ball is easy. Just been some unlucky bounces for Tekamah-Herman today. Wahoo's been able to capitalize on them. As your Warriors look to get win number 9 today before the conference tournament starts tomorrow. Leading it 5-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. And the top of the order standing up now, Isaiah Nagel. First pitch right down the center, strike 1. Bases loaded. At third, it's Osmera. At second, Alex Berry. And at first, Caden Christen. Next pitch, high, ball 1. We'll see if Isaiah's pretty patient. He is 1 for 3 today with a double in the first in which he came around to score. He flew out to right back in the second inning and reached on an error in the 4th inning and was left stranded at third. And it's a 1-2 as that pitch was outside, called a strike. So now Isaiah has to try and fight pitches off that are close. 1-2. Outside, good take as it just broke out at the last second. Really good take. Isaiah's out in right field today for the Warriors defensively. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Popped up behind home plate. It stays in for an out. Wow, the wind didn't help Isaiah that time. It's a pop-up to the catcher for out number 3 to leave the bases loaded. It's 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs, and 3 left on. We head to the top of the 6th. Wahoo leading it 5-1. Warrior Baseball will be right back. Thanks for tuning in to Warrior Baseball and Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. On this Monday afternoon, Austin McNorton and Lauren Hollowell here with you. Lauren running our scoreboard and everything else you see behind the scenes. Sorry for all the technical difficulties we've had today. Haven't had a lot of them this season. But here is Spencer Pagels, the 3-4-5 hitters due up for the Tigers after scoring a run in the top of the fifth, but giving it back. And another in the bottom of the fifth, and Wahoo now leads it 5-1 after leading 3-0 after the fourth inning. This one's popped up in foul territory down the third base side and goes right in front of the concession stand, foul. It's Cody Hesser still out on the mound for the Warriors. Pagels is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout in the first inning. And then he popped up in foul territory to Eli Johnston at first back in the fourth inning. But this is his third time seeing Hesser. Like we said back in that last inning, third time through the order is usually when you kind of have the advantage in the batter's box. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that's outside. Ball 4. It's a leadoff walk for the Tigers. And in this great game, what they always say is leadoff walks always come back to bite you. So we'll see if the Warriors can prevent that from going anywhere, as that is the 4th walk today drawn by Tekamah-Herman. Great crowd here today. Great weather. 0-1 the count. Inside and low. To Kel Belfridge, he's 0 for 1 today, I should say. He was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. And then he grounded out to third back in the fourth inning. And looks at a pitch, just missed, barely missed on the inside part of the zone, 2-1. There's a pitch in the exact same spot, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first is Spencer Pagels over there. Off the end of the bat. Good pitch from Hesser, and you could hear the crowd kind of say that in unison as well. But good job by Cale to get a piece of it and send it back off the chain link fence. We'll do it again. Thrown back to first. Safely is Spencer. March Madness comes to an end today officially after South Carolina goes perfect yesterday in the women's side of things, winning it all, defeating Caitlin Clark in her final collegiate game. South Carolina, the first team since 2015 UConn to go undefeated and win it all. Was that might have been a Brianna Stewart team. I think it might have just missed her, maybe. Strikeout on Belfringe for out number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 strikeouts today for Cody Hesser. Boy, has he been good. He's found his spots, only given up 1 hit today, 4 walks. And now 1 on and 1 out, thrown back to first, not in time. Good tag laid down by Johnston, but Spencer Pagels got back, and it's Tristan Tobin at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking to end the top of the first inning, and then he walked back in the fourth inning. Runner goes. Kaminsky, it's a really high throw into center field. But Pagels doesn't go anywhere as Booth got on it quick enough. It's another stolen base for the Tigers. They had 2 stolen bases back in the top of the 5th inning. So now Tobin has a runner in scoring position here. And Kaminsky will throw it down to third. Got him! That might have been, is that a makeup call? It might. I mean, that's pretty much the exact same thing that happened to Wahoo back in the 5th inning. And trying to steal third is Pagels, and just like that, there are 2 away with nobody on. Here for Tristan Tobin at the plate. And so now the head coach for Tekamah-Herman had a conversation with the home plate umpire. And I'll tell you, if this call gets overturned, I don't think there's going to be a lot of Wahoo Warrior fans that are very happy. That was the exact same situation that really happened to Wahoo, basically. Where, in that case, it was Connor Booth who got tagged out, quote-unquote, tagged out, stealing third. In this case, it looked like Spencer Pagels got there safely, but they say Kristen laid the tag down. This one's crushed to straightaway left, now going into foul territory, and Nolan Van Slyke gets out number 3, so it ends up being kind of 3 up, 3 down, but it's 1 walk, no hits, no runs, and nobody left on base. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Wahoo leads 5-1. You're tuned into Warrior Baseball, and we'll be right back. Warrior Baseball. It's Bishop Newman and Wahoo here in downtown Wahoo, Nebraska. at Sam Crawford Field with the sun shining here on this Monday evening. To the bottom of the 6th we go. There'll be 3 outs remaining for the Tigers of Tekamah-Herman, but Wahoo trying to add a little bit more insurance after leading this one 5-1. It's the 2-3-4 hitters due up for Wahoo. And in stands Ryan Sabatka. He's 0 for 3 today with a ground out to the pitcher back in the 4th inning, a line out to left back in the 2nd inning, and then he reached on an error in the 1st inning and came all the way around to score. So Sabatka watches a pitch miss outside on the new pitcher out there for the Tigers of Tekamah-Herman. It's Gage Belfridge out there on the mound as Parker Loftus, his day is done, and he's standing at first. And Belfridge misses inside on that next pitch. So here's the 3-1. It skips way away, and it's a leadoff walk for Carson Sabatka. And that brings up Connor Booth. Connor is 2 for 3 today with 2 singles back in the 1st and 5th inning. And then he popped up to the first baseman in Gage Belfridge, who was standing at first at the time. That was back in the 3rd inning, and watches the pitch go high and outside. So we'll see how aggressive Sabatka is over there at first. Decent lead, but against the lefty pitcher, probably not trying to get too far off, as this one's crushed to center and will be right in front of Caden Booth out there in center field for a base hit for Connor Booth, who's been great. 3 for 4 in the batter's box today. And Carson Sabatka goes up to second. And here comes Nolan Van Slyke. He's 1 for 2 today. He struck out back in the 1st inning, a single in the 3rd inning, and then he walked in the 5th inning and came in to score on Cody Hesser's RBI. So 2 on, nobody out. And Van Slyke pulls back the bunt and watches a strike get called in the top right corner. This pitch is grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Belfridge, has it. Long throw to first. It's way high. It goes all the way to the Tekamah-Herman dugout. It's another error against the Tigers as Nolan Van Slyke is on, and scoring from second is Carson Sabatka. Connor Booth goes 1st to 3rd on said play, and the Warriors have another run. Eli Johnston, he'll step up now for Wahoo. He's 0 for 2 today with a line out to left and a fly out to right. But he was hit by a pitch back in the 1st inning, so he's been on today. But a spot for him now with runners at the corners and nobody out. Against the new pitcher, first pitch right down the center. It's cut off by Belfridge. However, it skips away from him, and scoring on the play is Connor Booth. Heads up base running for Connor Booth that time for Wahoo, as the Warriors now lead 7-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. And going up to second on the play was Van Slyke as well. So he's in scoring position now for Eli Johnston as he was stealing second. And on the throw, Pagels was throwing it down to Belfridge at second. And that is when Gage Belfridge, the pitcher, cut it off. But in doing so, it skipped out of his glove, rolled away from him, and Connor Booth comes home on the play. This skips in, and going all the way to third without a throw is Nolan Van Slyke. It was a good block from Pagels. Just couldn't keep it in front of him enough to get a glove and throw it over to third. Runner at third, nobody out for Eli Johnston. New pitcher, it's Gage Belfridge on the mound, the lefty. So now, if you are Nolan Van Slyke, you should be able to get a pretty decent lead over there at third with the pitchers back to you. This one's hit to left and out of play. The pitch, high for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out and a runner on. Pitch inside, it's turned on, in foul territory. It'll go right into the Warrior dugout and be foul. Miller had a run on it over from third, but it just kind of bounced right in the dugout for Wahoo. Home plate umpire comes and gets some of those foul baseballs and ready to do the full count again. Van Slyke is the runner at third for Wahoo with nobody out. It gets away. And going in safely is Van Slyke on the wild pitch and the walk for Eli Johnson, who's on for the second time today. So 3 runs across here for Wahoo, who now lead at 8-1 in the bottom of the 6th, adding some serious insurance headed to that top of the 7th, where only 3 outs left for Tekamah-Herman. Kaminsky stands in now for the Warriors. He's 0 for 2 today. And first pitch swinging, grounds it to third. Miller gets a glove on it, throws from his knees, not in time. Heck of an attempt, though, by the third baseman Miller to even make that somewhat close. We'll see what they score that. I'll say that's an infield hit for Jace Kaminsky, his first today and his 3rd time being on. Johnston will go up to second. It's Johnston at second, Kaminsky at first. 2 on, nobody out. 3 already across for the Warriors here in this great bottom of the 6th. Cody Hesser will likely pitch a complete game, depending on said pitch count. He stands in the batter's box, 1 for 2 today, as he grounded into a double play to end the first inning. He walked in the 4th inning and then had a single in the 5th inning and was left at third. The 1-1. Throwing back kind of half-heartedly, faking it really. He didn't even let it go. Gage Belfridge looked back at second. And now the Tekamah-Herman defense will have a chat on the mound. It's Warrior Baseball on Wahoo Public and Saunders County Online. A national championship game tonight. Zach Eady in Purdue, the College Player of the Year, makes it to the national championship game, trying to do what the Virginia Cavaliers did back in, oh gosh, when was that? Was that 2018? Yeah, 2018. Was it 2019? Yeah, it was 2018. After losing in the first round to a 16 seed, back then it was UMBC. Then Virginia came back the next year and won the national championship in 2019. So Purdue trying to do that after they lost in the first round as a 1 seed last year to Fairleigh Dickinson. And now they're in the national championship game trying to go do the exact same thing that Virginia did, lose as a 1 seed, win the national championship the next year. However, they have a tough opponent with them in the Huskies of UConn, who are trying to repeat as a national champion. The first team to do that since the Florida Gators did it back in 2006 and 2007. So it's been a while since someone's done that. low, and it's ball 4 on Cody Hesser, and another walk given up by Gage Belfridge. So the bases will be loaded now for Alex Berry as Eli Johnson goes up to third, Jace Kaminsky goes to second, and Cody Hesser goes to first. And I think it will be the courtesy runner in Bo Osmera out there again for Wahoo. So Osmera stands at first, Kaminsky at second, and Johnson at third with nobody out for Alex Berry. First pitch grounded to third. Play will come home for out number 1 on the force out at home plate. So Berry reaches on the fielder's choice. So going to third now is Kaminsky. Osmera, I should say, goes to second, and Berry stands at first for Caden Christian with the bases loaded and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Wahoo already with 3 runs across, trying to blow it open here, potentially. An 8-1 lead here for Wahoo. And a pitch goes outside, in and out of the glove of Pagels, but not far enough for anybody to move on the base path. It's been the 2 best teams in college basketball all year long, without question. The top 2 seeds in the tournament, and they meet in the national championship game. Zach Edey against Cleanan for UConn. Should be fun. Pitch high, and nowhere to put him. As Caden Christian has a great 3-0 count now, nowhere to put him. The bases loaded. Likely red light all the way here. It's outside ball 4, and a run comes in to score. Caden is on with his 2nd walk today. Coming in to score on the play was Jace Kaminsky. Going up to third is Osmera. Up to second goes Alex Berry, and at first is Caden Christian. As we go to the 9th batter of the inning, Isaiah Nagel, when we come back with a new pitcher for the Tigers. Don't go anywhere. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the 6th for the Warriors, as 3 runs have already come in to score for Wahoo. 4 runs, I should say, have already come in to score for Wahoo here in this bottom of the 6th. And the bases are loaded, and a new pitcher for Tekamah-Herman. It's Landon Miller who comes over from third. Loftus will go over to third, and Belfridge will go back to first. And the batter at the plate is the leadoff man for Wahoo, Isaiah Nagel, who watched the first pitch skip in on him. Next one low, swung on and missed, strike one. Over at third for the Warriors is Osmera. At second is Alex Berry, and at first is Caden Christian, who just drew a walk with the bases loaded, which brought in that run. So the Warriors lead it 9-1. Swung on and missed, strike two off a good pitch that was low again. Here in the bottom of the sixth, Wahoo trying to get win number 9. And they'll be back here tomorrow against Nebraska City. 1 ball, 2 strikes, way inside, and a good catch and saved by Pagels behind the plate to keep that one from going to the backstop, and we're even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nagel today for Wahoo is 1 for 4 with a double in the first, a fly out to right in the second. He reached on an error in the 4th inning, and he skied up behind home plate the last time he was up with the bases loaded, and that was back in the 5th inning. He left them loaded after popping it up to the catcher behind home plate, but after being down in the count 1-2, he's now worked it back full 3-2. Here's the 3-2. Down and low, ball 4, and another run has come in to score for the Warriors. Nagel goes up to first. Coming in to score was Osmera. Alex Berry goes over to third. And Caden Christian goes up to second. So here's Carson Sabatka, who led off this inning with a walk. And he came in to score. On the error that Nolan Van Slyke had. So this is his second time up in this inning as the Warriors lead it big now here in the bottom of the 6th. It's a 10-1 Warrior lead. The pitch just misses high. And nowhere to put him again. Here for Landon Miller. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away, bases loaded. Skips in, good catch behind home plate for Pagels. The 3-1 could be the ball game here with a run rule. It's popped up and will go behind us and into the street. So now the count goes full on Carson Sabatka, who walked already. He's 0 for 3 today with reaching on an error, lining out to left, and grounding it back up the middle to the pitcher. The full count. This one's popped up. It will stay in play, but bounce right in front of the Warrior dugout, foul. As Connor Booth had to kind of get out of the way of Pagels, who had a good run on it behind home plate. He saw it the whole way. Couldn't make the catch as the wind pushed it from right to left as well. That helped. Wahoo in this inning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. Swung on and missed, a big strikeout. Down goes Sabatka. So the bases remain loaded now for Connor Booth, who's been great today for the Warriors. 3 for 4 with 3 singles and a fly out to the first baseman. He had a single in this inning and came in to score. First pitch, not messing around. He sends it to short. Belfridge is there. Long throw to first, not in time. Alex Berry scores from third, and that will be the ball game on the run rule. So Connor Booth, absolutely spectacular. He went 4 for 5 today from the batter's box. As scoring was Alex Berry from third. Caden Christian went up to third. Isaiah Nagel went to second. Booth to first, and that is the ball game. There in that inning, Wahoo had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. They had 1, 2, 3 hits. They had 6 runs, and they had 3 left on base because of the run rule. So Wahoo wins it. 11-1 is our final score today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Warrior Baseball on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public YouTube. I'm going to have Lauren go down and see if she can grab Cody Hesser for me. And we'll talk to Cody Hesser when we come back. Don't go anywhere. The Warriors win it. Win number 9, 11-1 your final. We'll be right back on Saunders County Online and Wahoo Public. Welcome back to Sam Crawford Field on Wahoo Public YouTube and Saunders County Online. Austin McNorton here with you as the Warriors get win number 9 here in 2024. Another win on their home field, defeating Tekamah-Herman in a run rule, 11-1. Your final after 6. We're talking to starting pitcher today, Cody Hesser, who threw a complete game, only giving up 1 hit, 4 walks, and 1 run. And Cody, with this weather, it's the best day weather-wise we've had here in Wahoo. And
sure.
Do you feel like that helped today with how impressive your ball squad was today?
For sure. Our bats didn't go off very well at the start, but definitely helped. Everybody just wants to be here, you know, when the weather gets nicer. Makes baseball more fun to play overall. Overall, the warmer weather typically helps the offense, but today both teams kind of got off to a slow start, but we finally got to go in there late in the game to help us win it.
So, Cody, you haven't pitched a lot this season, but you get the start today. You go the complete game, only one hit. What was working for you out there on the mound?
To be honest, none of my off-speed was really working too well. I just kept throwing fastballs, and my saying is I trust my defense, make him hit the ball, and let's get outs.
Your defense was spectacular, and you feel like with kind of having to battle the elements like you've been doing all season long that you guys are just really confident when it comes to your defensive ability.
Right, yeah. We're a really good defensive team this year. Some people, you know, aren't too high on our offense, but I think defensively we're definitely one of the best in the state.
So, Cody, how does this kind of momentum you guys are building now, because tomorrow starts your conference tournament against Nebraska City. You're right back here in less than 24 hours. How do you kind of carry this momentum now going into the rest of the week?
This week's big for us. We got a really tough conference, and winning that can be a good early season indicator for districts and state. So if we can get it done this week, I mean, I'm sure we will be pretty high.
One bat that was hot for you today, Connor Booth. He went 4 for 5. Talk about when you see a teammate performing like that, just talk about what that's like in the dugout.
Oh, yeah. I thought Isaiah Nagel got us off to a great start about hitting a home run out.
Yeah, he did.
And then after that, they put their outfielders' butts against the fence. And so I was like, we're going to have a day. And Booth just kept dropping him in there nicely. He's really good at hitting, so hopefully he can keep that rolling this week.
Cody, congrats on the win. Congrats on the complete game. I promise I didn't do the no-hitter jinx. I promise I wasn't saying it.
It's all right.
That wasn't. You can't blame it on me. Heck of a game, heck of a win. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
That's
it.
That's Cody Hesser with us on our Saunders County Online post-game shows. The Warriors win it by a final score of 11-1 after 6. Final stats today. Impressive day for the Warriors as they give up just 1 hit, 4 walks, a run, and they were able to strand 4 Tigers on base. Cody with 11 strikeouts today on the mound. He was spectacular. Park Loftus, he went with that 1 hit for the Tigers. For Wahoo, Isaiah Nagel, he had a double today and a walk. Carson Sabaka had that walk there in the 6th inning. Connor Booth went 4 for 5 with 4 base hits. Nolan Van Slyke had a base hit and a walk. Eli Johnson was hit by a pitch and walked. Jace Kaminsky walked and had a hit. So lots of walks today for Wahoo, if you can't tell. Cody Hesser walked 2 times and had a hit. Alex Berry with a hit. He also reached on a fielder's choice there in that 6th. And then Caden Christen, he walked 2 times today as well. So the Warriors really saw the ball well. 10 hits, 9 walks, 11 runs. They also left 11 batters on base, but importantly, they get win number 9 over the Tigers of Tekamah-Herman. Thank you all so much for tuning in to our show today. Thanks so much for tuning into the game. Thanks to all of our sponsors for making it possible. Thanks for bearing with us when it came to all of the technical difficulties that we had. We haven't had a lot of that this season, but had it today. And that's our final score. Warriors win it 11-1. Thanks so much to Lauren Holloway for helping us out, running the show, running the scoreboard, running our camera and commercials. And thanks all of you for tuning in. We wouldn't do it if it weren't for you. For Austin McNorton, I'm saying so long from Sam Crawford